welcome to Drew's Reviews, and today's film will be discussing Clown in a Cornfield, a slasher horror film directed by Eli Craig, based on a 2020 novel by Adam Caesar. The story follows 17-year-old Quinn Maybrook, played by Katie Douglas, and her father, Dr. Glenn Maybrook, played by Aaron Abrams, as they relocate to a small town of Cattle Springs, Missouri, seeking a fresh start. This might be a short review, guys. I had no expectations for this film. I wasn't excited. I wasn't less than that. I saw the poster and I was like, let me go check it out. I hadn't even seen a trailer for the movie. So I went to my local theater and it was okay. It was a very average horror film. I do like slasher films when they're done right. And this one, for the most part, was done pretty well. They had a little twist in there. I saw it coming, but at first it clicked and I was like, that's what's going on. And I thought that I just didn't see that coming, and that the director wanted me to kind of catch on, or wanted the audience to kind of catch on at that moment.
You sure about that?
But then as the movie continued and they kind of just dragged out the twist, I then came to further realization that, oh, they were trying to hold off on this twist until this very specific scene, and we weren't actually supposed to catch on to that earlier on. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it wasn't necessarily horrible. I did like the teenagers in the film. Some of the conversations that they had with each other seemed very realistic with kids in high school. It didn't seem like they were still stuck in the 90s. It felt like conversations that we have now. So they did a good job on the dialogue in that regard. And the acting was okay. It was pretty average. Nobody really stuck out. Everybody pretty much did what they were supposed to and gave their performance. And the kills were okay. Nothing that really sticks out. No pun intended. Again, very basic movie. Nothing really jumps out to me other than the twist. I like the concept of the film. I did like that part, but again, I had caught on to it at a certain point and it seemed like they wanted you to catch on, but the way that they just drag it out after that, even though the movie is like an hour and 30 something minutes, once it gets past that certain point in my head, I'm just saying, hurry it up. We've already caught on. And when I had got back home after seeing the movie, because my wife isn't a huge fan of horror films, I was kind of telling her about the plot and the things that were happening, and before I could even say exactly what the twist was, she could guess right off of me just explaining. So that part was a little weak, but I like the concept of the story. I just wish they would have probably spent a little bit more time tightening that script up just to make it so that it is a surprise and not me feeling like the movie is catching up to where I'm at. I should be catching up to where the movie is, especially when it's something like that. But it's not like this movie is gonna win any Oscars or anything, or that they were even trying to. They were just making a slasher movie, and it wasn't a complete waste of time. It did what it was supposed to in that regard, but it was just a little basic. There were some jokes that were funny, but
I don't like where this is going.
for the most part, all the other jokes didn't hit at all for me. I was very unamused. I chuckled at some little things here and there. There was one joke with this phone that really had me cracking up, but other than that, everything else, it wasn't even hit or miss. I pretty much didn't laugh at any of the jokes up until a certain section of the film, probably around the third act. There were some things that were funny to me.
We're gonna die.
But other stuff I'd probably chuckle a little bit, but not like laughing or anything. Just like nowadays when we text LOL, we're actually not laughing out loud. We're just like, huh, and that's pretty much it. And sometimes it's not even that. Some people, most of us, are just straight face texting LOL or laughing emojis. So it was kind of like that. I'm not laughing, but I get the joke. I guess it was funny. Nothing that I'm coming back like, wow, that was hilarious. Except for that one joke with the phone that had me cracking up pretty good. The clown looked pretty creepy. The practical effects were pretty cool when it came to the slasher part of it, and the clown killing people, the blood and all the gore and all of that. It looked pretty good. Sometimes you can tell that it's really fake, but for this, it looked pretty good, so they didn't do bad in that department.
Good job!
There really wasn't much to this movie. It really was a basic slasher film other than the concept that they had. Again, I feel like if they just punched that up a little bit better, it would have hit much harder and I probably would have enjoyed myself a lot more. But just because you have a good concept doesn't mean that it's executed correctly, and unfortunately that's the case with this film.
Really makes you think.
So I'm going to give Clown in a Cornfield a 6 out of 10. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen. It wasn't the best movie I've seen. It was pretty average, so it gets an average grade. Told you it was going to be a short one. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to my review of Clown in a Cornfield. Please like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what's your favorite slasher film. I would love to hear your thoughts. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.